let you guys take questions from Miller.
Miller, what are the emotions? I guess it seems like you're a little emotional. I guess where does that come from?
How long? Yeah. No, I mean, I think this is obviously one that you'll remember for a really long time. Historic win for the school. Couldn't be prouder to be a part of this team, and just part of the character once again that we displayed. Just fighting. It was kind of funny when one of my closest friends from back home earlier this week sent me a picture from Rocky IV of Rocky going into Russia and fighting Drago. And that's kind of what this felt like. We just had to kept taking hits, and kept stepping forward. Once again, just couldn't be more proud of this team.
Miller, when you go into a game facing Carson Beck, you obviously know you're facing an elite quarterback who is a potential Heisman Trophy candidate. What are your thoughts about facing a guy of him, knowing that you have to probably play, if not a great game, probably a little bit better to try to match the nature of your opponent?
Yeah, I mean he's a great player, and they got a lot of great players. I think obviously in the media people are gonna make a big deal of the quarterbacks, and that's just the nature of the position. But I mean it's our offense versus Miami's defense, not Miami's offense. So they were a very complete team, had a ton of success. So obviously, yeah, I mean we had a ton of respect for it. Like we were really getting ready for the defense, but they have a great offense as well, and I'm sure they're gonna continue to do great things the rest of the year.
Miller, what do you feel like you guys changed offensively in terms of the passing? It seemed like you were doing a lot more short drops and quick passes to get the ball out.
Yeah, I mean I think we had a healthy respect for their front and what they've been able to do up to this point. I think we tried to mix in our shots when we could, but I mean when you got multiple first-round picks on the defensive line, you're going to try to get the ball out quicker. And I think for the most part we executed well in doing that.
Miller, I like your Rocky IV analogy because it's really pretty good and appropriate, because I know that you guys are heavy underdogs going into the game against the number 2 team in the country. How much is that going to be a big building block for Louisville as you take this game into the rest of the year? That maybe you guys are a lot better than most people think that you are.
Yeah, I mean I think if you get caught up in what people think about you, it's a real slippery slope. I think the most important thing is the feeling and the sentiment within that locker room and between those guys. We had confidence going in this game. We knew we were going to have to play our best game in order to win against an opponent of that caliber. But like I said, the most important thing is the sentiment between the teammates. We got another good opponent coming up next week, so all the focus, we're going to enjoy this one on the plane right back, and tomorrow all the focus shifts to Boston College.
Well, speaking of the opening to this season, 3 non-conference games that, it wasn't this level of competition.
Right.
So inside of that locker room, do you guys feel like this is a potential college football playoff type of team?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get into making predictions and stuff like that. I think, we have confidence no matter who we're lined up against that we're going to have a shot to win the game if we play our best ball. And I think every team should feel that way, but I know absolutely we feel that way. And I think, this result inspires that confidence in a lot of ways.
What was your initial reaction to seeing TJ Capers pick off that last pass?
Holy shit. It was a pretty honest response.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so happy for him and the growth that he's had. I think he really saw it over the course of the offseason workouts and stuff like that. And obviously with Quan being out, he's had to play a bigger role. So happy for him. It's going to be something he's going to remember the rest of his life.
Miller, Louisville does have a tendency to produce a lot of great quarterbacks. You often look at the history of the quarterbacks and feel very good that now you have a chance to be part of that history, because I've seen a lot of great quarterbacks do some pretty good things in this league.
Yes, sir. No, absolutely. I mean, I think one of the reasons I came here was to play for the school, to play for Coach Brohm and continue that legacy, if you will. So I'm proud. Once again, I'm proud to be a part of this team, proud to be a part of this program, and excited for what we can do in the following weeks.
Miller, you guys hadn't scored on an opening possession since the season opener against Kentucky.
Yeah.
What about the game plan did you feel like was going to work and played out the way it did?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know we were going to go right down the field and score. I was pretty happy that we did. But, no, I mean, I think we had an extra week to get ready for these guys, and that definitely helped. Obviously, they had an extra week as well. But I think I got to give a ton of credit to Coach Brohm and his opening script, and that's not really anything
You guys good?
Well, one more. Just what was the emotion like after Isaac fumbled? Like, you get the interception at first. It seems like that's game over at that point. Fans leaving the stands. Isaac fumbles. They score, and they're right back in it.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've played this game a while, and nothing really surprises me anymore. You know, last year we're playing number 3 Penn State. Went down, had an awesome drive, went up by 7. They convert 2 4th and 10s back to back and walk in the end zone, and then we miss the kick in overtime and they make the kick. So I think the most important thing, going back to Rocky Four, is just keep swinging, keep staying in it, and you can never, against a really good quality opponent, you can never think like this game is over, this game is won, whatever it is. I don't care how much you're up by. When you're playing against really good players, anything can happen. And I think it's going to be really important for Isaac to keep his head up. Went over and talked to him, and I was like, look, if this was an overtime, like, you're going to make a big play for us to win this game. So I have all the faith in the world in him. He played a phenomenal game, and he's going to do great things for us going forward.
You know, Miller, you play for a head coach that was a quarterback.
Right.
How much of an advantage is it the fact that he's a quarterback, he played in the NFL, he's a quarterback's coach, in terms of what he can bring to your development, not only at the collegiate level, but prepare you for the next level as well? Because Rome was a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah, no, he was great. Brian was great. I don't know about Greg. He might get it. So, Mr. Brown told me Greg ran a 4.2 or 4.4, but I'm skeptical. Right. But no, definitely. You know, one of the reasons I came here was to be coached by someone with his pedigree, and he's a phenomenal coach and a phenomenal human being, and I'm super grateful to have this opportunity to play for him.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
Guys.
you.
Oh, well, definitely proud of our football team. Big win for us. You know what? I thought we prepared well for 2 weeks. Anytime you lose, it's not a lot of fun. But we worked hard, and I thought we had a good plan ready to be aggressive and attack. And I thought we came ready to play. And it was definitely beneficial to score the first 2 times we touched the ball, get a lead. And when you get a lead, it forces the other team to do some things different than what they normally do. And that was definitely different for them. You know, now they couldn't run it as much. They had to throw a little bit more. We were able to pressure, we were able to get after the quarterback, we were able to disguise things, and all that tied in together. And we haven't been able to do that a whole lot this year, is get leads. So I just think we tried to be a little creative, we tried to be aggressive, we came ready to play, we finally just squeaked it out at the very end, but our guys just played hard at the very end. I'm really proud of them.
Jeff, let's talk about Carson Beck as a quarterback. You've played the position, you've been a quarterback's coach, and I know you think highly of him. What are your thoughts about his skill set? And obviously, this is a tough evening for him tonight, but let's talk about Carson Beck, the quarterback per se, and what he brings to the table.
Well, Carson Beck's an NFL quarterback, and tonight wasn't his best night, but I'm just telling you, all those things matter, and it makes playing quarterback hard no matter who you are. Right. But until this game, he's been efficient. He's ran that offense. They've been in control of every game up until this one. And you know what? I tell our team, any given Saturday, anybody can win. I don't care who you're playing. Anybody can win if they come ready to play. And I think we were just able to get them on their heels. They weren't able to run the ball as effectively, and we had the lead. So now they had to open it up. We disguised some things. We blitzed. We were able to hit them, get in the backfield, and that caused them to make some errant throws. And I just think, it's a learning experience, but he's definitely an NFL quarterback.
Jeff, why do you think you've been so successful in these kind of games where it's a top 5, top 10 games and being able to pull off these kinds of upsets?
Well, because they're a lot of fun. You know what? Anytime you play these type of games, you put in a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie, I was stressed out because I wanted to win bad, and I wanted to have a plan that would work and give our players hope. And it was a rough 2 weeks to try to get that done, but. We put the work in, and you just got to, when you get to the game field, you got to relax and roll out the dice and play ball. And I just think our players responded. We liked some of the things we were doing and made it fun for them. These type of games, you just got to be aggressive, and you can't play conservative. And I just think we did just enough to win the game against a great team.
Jeff, it almost sounds like you're kind of downplaying it. Like you said, you did just enough. You guys never trailed. You picked off a quarterback who only had 3 interceptions 4 times in this game. Like this, I'm not gonna say you guys dominated, but you handled this game. Like you getting back into this win, right?
Well, I appreciate you saying that. No, without question, we did a lot of good things, but in the end, they're in field goal range, ready to tie the game. They just throw an interception. So, just like the last game, every game is close. So, man, you just hope that you come on the winning end. But yes, it was a big win, and yes, we did start hot, and yes, we played good defense, and yes, I'm more than proud of our team because this is a really big win that can hopefully get us going and get our confidence going, where we can just believe that, hey, we got to put in the work, but man, any given day we can beat anybody, but you got to come ready to play. And so I just think it was great for our team to feel that, to see what it looks like, and when you play a team of that caliber, which I'm telling you, that is a really good team, it's just a great feeling.
Jeff, this is a two-part question. You played under Howard Schnellenberger. What was it like to play 4 years under Howard Schnellenberger, much less the fact that you coached 1 year up at Florida Atlantic and they sent their best to you, by the way? And, that's got to be unbelievable to win a game like this with his connection to both universities.
Well, I love Howard to death. He taught me a ton about the game of football. I'm sure he taught Coach Cristobal the same. Really, those traits were toughness. He was a football guy. He believed in fighting to the end and never giving up. He instilled those traits into all his players, Coach Cristobal, hopefully myself, anybody that played for him. And that's what you like playing for, those type of guys. Real football guys that want to do it for the right reasons and that want to put the work in. So yes, it's great to see Beverly and her family. Howard taught us a ton about the game, and he definitely, both programs were not doing well when he took over, and he turned them around. And look at Miami now, look at the ability for us to kind of continue to rise, but it's all because of him, so we're very thankful.
Jeff, Chris has been on just a really, really strong tear, I guess, the past few games, really this whole season. But I guess how much would you attribute his maturity increase to him being able to have, he's always been talented, obviously, but how much would you attribute that maturity to him being able to have the success that he's had?
Well, I'm extremely proud of Chris. Chris has been with us the entire time. He works really hard. The last 2 years, someone else had a few more catches than him, but he definitely contributed and did a great job. He never complained and stuck with us. And then now this year, look at him really taking over. And that's a good defense. And look what he did. But he practices hard. He goes hard. He plays hard. We're going to find ways to give him the ball. He even got a little nicked up and hurt his hamstring. I didn't know if we were going to get him back in. He came back in. I don't think it's as fast as he was before, but he came back in. So to me, he has learned what work ethic means. He has learned what being a great teammate means. I think he knows that he has a chance to take care of his family in the long run, and we're going to help him do that.
Let's talk about the play of Isaac Brown. Had a pretty good game, over 100 yards. He had, 8 all told? And he was a big part of that first opening drive. I know he had the fumble later, but this kid looks like a heck of a player.
No, Isaac's a special player. Unfortunately, been a little nicked up this year, and it was good to finally get him back where he was running and looked like his old self, but he's fast. He's quick in the hole. He's hard to tackle. We got to find ways to create some space for him so that the openings can be there, because they'll make you miss and not make him run in a crackerjack box. But he did a great job. He played hard. Even when he had the fumble, you know what, he bounced back and he came back and was ready to go again. So, he's got special talents, and we've got to make sure we utilize those as best we can.
Jeff, you said you wanted the game plan to have fun and to go out there and just play. How does having 3 quarterbacks standing next to each other end up in a game plan, and what does that do for your team when you're out there and they're all 3 out there on the field together?
Well, we had our 3 amigo packages, we called it, with 3 quarterbacks, and we wanted to just kind of give the defense something to think about and just throw them off a little bit. We had about 4 or 5 plays ready to go. We maybe called 2 or 3. We had some packages of runs with the other quarterbacks as well that we were able to use 1 or 2 of them maybe. I think that making the game fun, it's just fun to practice, and I think we had fun with it the last couple of days. We knew during the game, hey, you're going to be involved. We got your helmet here on the side because they have to wear a different helmet with the green dot. And I was going to call a few more actually, but I think that all of our guys work hard, and we want to get them on the field, so we just got to continue to be creative with that to a certain degree.
Jeff, in the past, you've kind of talked about individual games raising the bar, like they did this in this game, so that raised the bar going forward. What does this game do for this team in terms of raising expectations?
Well, I mean, I'm sure it raises the bar. I do think when you beat a quality team on the road that has played great up to this point, it says that you have the ability to do it if you do a lot of things right. So that's the great thing, and I think it's something to build on. That's why we teach a one-game season. Believe it or not, you can have great wins, and the next week you don't even look the same. So you have to find a way to keep that same energy and that same toughness and the same work ethic to continue to improve. Because you saw we had some games this year we haven't played real well. We've had some games where we stepped up, but we got to find ways to play 4 quarters of efficient football, not beat ourselves. The great teams don't beat themselves, and I think if you do that, you'll have a chance to win the 4th quarter. But every week, anybody can beat anybody, and we know that. That's why it's a one-game season.
All right.
Wait,
One
one-
more. Alexis.
Defensively, I mean, obviously 2 weeks ago, you guys hold Virginia well under a lot of their averages. Same thing tonight. What kind of statement do you feel like this can make for the defense that has been playing pretty dominant all season?
Well, this was a great game for our defense because this was a really good football team. So to stop the run for the most part, eliminate the big plays, and get those turnovers were crucial. So I just think that we feel pretty confident in the package that we were able to put together. I think our guys understand it. Definitely it helps when you got a lead to really go out there and execute it better. But our defense has played well all year, and I just think that even for them, we got to continue to see that, continue to see great play by them. But it was definitely getting 4 turnovers and getting stopping the run and really disrupting the quarterback was a great job by our defense.
All right, Coach. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Yeah, you know what, I was going to ask you, what's it like for you to actually be able to coach at your alma mater and have some pretty good success over here? Because, I mean, this is unbelievable to be able to do what you're doing.
Well, when you win, it's a lot of fun. So, you know what, I think just like Coach Cristobal, we care about our program, our city. We're going to invest as much as we can, hard work into trying to make it work. We hope that it's happy Saturdays for everybody, but sometimes you are going to lose. But you got to be tough enough to withstand the noise and come back and work hard and do it again. And I know Miami will come ready to play next week, and we're going to have to find a way to come ready to play next week. But it's great to make your own fans happy.
Thanks for answering that question.
Thank
Thank you.
Jabari Mack.
Jabari kind of just asked Coach about it, but obviously you guys have been dominant all season, but some people have, I guess, felt different ways about different teams. What kind of statement do you feel like you made against this offense tonight?
We definitely made a big statement. I mean, I feel like it's just a testament of practice. I mean, going out there working, we had an off week, so we used that to our advantage. I mean, we worked hard, and I feel like that's just a testament of how hard we work in practice every day. Coach speaks about not one game is bigger than another, so just go out there with that one game mindset, ready to win each game.
Jabari, 4 interceptions against them. What was it, and kind of you got things started and Cape ended it. What was it like tonight playing in the secondary and getting all those?
Nah, it was big. It definitely was a big game, especially for me just being from Florida. Got a lot of fam out here, but really that's also just comes from practice. I say deep ball drill, just tracking the ball every day in practice. I mean, just everything we did in practice felt like it just paid off this game.
Let's talk about the Miami offense that you had to prepare for. You prepared for it, but you guys pretty much kept them in check throughout the whole game. How did all that change, and did you gain more and more confidence as the game went on?
I say we came in with a lot of confidence, just knowing how hard we worked, just watching the tape every week, week in, week out. I just knew we had the confidence. The confidence level was always there. It was just a matter of executing. And once we did that, we knew we could get the win.
Jabari, Coach talked about the fun game plan offensively. How much when you see them doing all the things they were doing early on, does it make you guys have fun too?
Yeah, it definitely made us I ain't gonna lie, going out there, just seeing them get 14 points off rip, it definitely just had us we would definitely turn out and say it, and it just made the defense. We knew we had to go out there and do our part. Offense got the ball first, they did what they had to do, and now it was our turn. Before you know it, game over.
What was it like in the huddles for that final drive, and knowing that you needed to get one stop, or was there talk like we need a turnover here?
It was a talk a little bit on the sideline. Coach said, yeah, we need a turnover right here, but really when you got out there, you just got to get that call and execute. That's the main thing. As long as you execute, we get the job done.
You said you're from Florida, Capers from Florida, Isaac from Florida. There's a lot of Florida boys that got some stuff done tonight. How good does that feel?
Now, it's a good feeling, especially like I ain't really had family come to that many games, so I had like almost my whole family at this game. So it's definitely a big game for me. I know it's a big game for the other teammates that's from Florida, so it definitely was just big for everybody.
What was your initial reaction when TJ Capers got that last interception?
Just crazy. That's all I can. One word I can say crazy, but it's definitely a statement right there. Big time play by a big time player. Just looking. 24-hour rule. Like celebrate it, enjoy it, going to the next game.
It's obviously your first year here at Louisville, but where does this kind of a win, top 2 opponent, kind of ranking just your college highlights?
That's a big one, especially going out there making that interception. I feel it's at the top for sure. Definitely at the top.
Carson Beck had 4 interceptions. I haven't seen him throw 4 interceptions all year. What was it about your defense that caused him to have arguably one of his worst days, knowing full well that he's a Heisman Trophy candidate? I don't know if he is now, but you brought the worst out of him, to say the least.
I really just say that just comes from us studying and watching film every day. Like,
right.
The D-line get out them secondary, just studying, reading the concepts and stuff. As long as we do that, we felt like we had a great game plan. We executed it, and that's what led to those turnovers, I said.
All right, Jabari.
Thank you.
Yes.
TJ, you obviously had the game-winning interception. What was that like for you in that moment?
We just knew we was gonna have to play to the end, execute smaller details, because that's what you got to do against a really good team. In big moments like that, you got to execute, play to the end, and win games. That's what we did.
At any point that you feel like you may have had Carson Beck kind of frustrated or pressing out there?
We practiced on showing him different looks and playing other coverages. So it was kind of our job, kind of our goal to mess with his head. That's what you got to do against a good quarterback. So we was just trying our best all game to show him different things and move fast and show him different looks just to slow that offense down.
TJ, when you go into a game like this against Miami, the number 2 team in the country, okay, when you enter the preparation, and obviously you're a big underdog, how do you feel that you're able to come away with such an impressive win, knowing that Louisville is much better than most people think that they are?
Yeah, exactly. We know how good we are, and we don't really compared to how good other teams are doing. We know if we play our best game, we can go beat anybody. So we fix whatever we messed up last week, 2 weeks ago, and come out here and play the best ball we can.
TJ, for you to end it here in front of, how many family and friends do you think were here? For you to be able to do that, how it was surreal. How would you kind of explain it?
Yeah, I say it was surreal. It's a big moment, especially with the circumstances. You say, everybody here. It's just you see it. We know what we got. We know what we got an idea what other teams doing. We know what coverage and what defense we playing, and just execute, finish the plays. It's gonna come to you. Just finish.
This is a rivalry game for both schools, Louisville and Miami. Well, you know that you obviously have who Howard Schnellenberger is, because his name is all over Louisville, let alone the fact that it's here. How important is it for you to win a rivalry game like this, in addition to the fact that you have another one with Kentucky? These rivalry games between Kentucky and you guys, and then this one, how special is it to play in these types of games?
These are special. These are probably the best, most fun games that we're going to play. And I love this team. I love the way that we can play 4 quarters with anybody, and we're going to execute. It's definitely the fun games. It's the ones we work for all season.
TJ, Louisville had not won at Miami at all. You guys have now won at Miami the past 2 times you've come here. What is it about this coaching staff or these players that has been able to allow you guys the success that you've been able to have?
Just being able to cut all the extra noise out. It's not about what they ranked or what we ranked or what we did last week. It's just fix all the mistakes and we play our game. So make them come play with us. That's all it is.
TJ, take us through that last play. What were you, when you lined up, where were you, how did you read it?
Well, I saw the formation, when they came out the huddle, I saw the 2 guys over there, and we was sending a lot of blitzes trying to get a stop in that 2-minute sort of drill. And I just knew where the pressure was coming from. I knew what it was going to look like to the quarterback, and I just knew where I had to be in my defense. So just playing our keys. We've been doing the whole game, playing our keys, executing.
All right, TJ.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris Bell, last one. Okay.
Thanks. You guys are great people. Thanks, man.
So it seemed like the passing game was a lot more short drops, quick releases today. But did you feel like you could take, because both of your touchdowns were like 5-yard passes that you took to the house. So did you know you were going to be able to break something like that as opposed to other games where it's long passes, deep passes that are getting you in the end zone?
Of course, I knew I was going to break pack catches like that. My first Virginia game, it was a drive, and they can't stop the drive. So, whenever Coach called that play, I know I got to make some people miss and break tackles and score a touchdown. That's what I did.
Chris Bell, I'm going to have to start paying attention to you after today, after what you did to the Miami Hurricanes. Let's talk about the fact that this was a very big game, a conference game against a team that was the number 2 team in the country. How do you feel that you were able to meet the challenge going against the Miami Hurricanes and that defense, which obviously has been talked about a lot with all the players that they have going with them?
Yeah, we know what we was up against this week. We've been practicing these last 2 weeks, 5 weeks. We had to correct our mistakes from Virginia, and all the penalties we got and stuff like that. And then we came this week and we knew what we had to do. We stuck to our game and played our game. We knew we was gonna come out on top, and everybody been saying that. I believe.
Chris, Coach talked about fun in the game plan. You lined up one time in the backfield with Colin. The 3 quarterbacks side by side out there. How much fun did you have during the week going? And were there times where you were like, what are we doing kind of thing? But it worked.
I had so much fun. It was times up in practice where I lined up at quarterback and got a wildcat play, but he ain't call it. Hopefully he call it next game. But yeah, it's been a fun practice. I feel like when we have those type of plays in the game, the defense don't know what's coming up.
Does it relax you a little bit too?
Yeah, it does.
So, Chris, how do you like playing for an offensive coach like Jeff Brohm? The guy's played in the NFL. He's a quarterbacks coach, and obviously he's running the show here. So it's obviously he's not afraid to do a lot of different things that allows you guys as players to get the most out of your ability.
I love playing for Coach Brown. He got an NFL style offense. Playing in that offense, running plays and routes in that offense, they get me ready for the league. So I've been here 3 years playing with him. It's been a great 3 years.
Going off of that, Chris, what do you feel like is different about you this year? Because you're averaging, I think, now over 100 yards a game.
What I feel like is different about me, I'm more locked into the game, and not, just out there being a bully or trying to, get in the player head or letting the players get in my head. I know, this year is my senior year, so I got to make plays for the team, and I'm in that position, that I got to, make plays for the team. Like I've been saying all off season, I've been working on my emotions, I've been trying to, tune in with myself, and be a leader for the team, and I feel like I've been doing a good job, with that. I gotta keep going.
So the maturity factor, you feel like is.
Yes, ma'am.
Chris, Coach said that he didn't know if you were coming back after the little hamstring nick or whatever. Was there ever a doubt that you were going to come out of that game and stay out of that game?
No, I don't think it was no doubt. I know, it was a little early. It was a pinch, but I knew I had to come out for my team and make plays for my team no matter what. It was gonna be there later. I'll deal with it later, but I had to make plays for my team. I did.
Let's talk about the play of your quarterback. This guy looked really poised all day long, no matter what situations he was thrust in. And when you have a quarterback that is so poised the way he is, doesn't that make you guys as an offense feel a lot more calmer and collectively know that you can accomplish pretty much anything you do, let alone, as I reiterated, you had a good defense. But let's focus this question on your quarterback.
Of course, having Miller had that confidence, it roused up the offense and it, help us, get going down the field. A lot of people didn't believe in Miller, but, he came out and he showed, what he can do. And I believe, I've been believing since he got in here, since the first time we talked. We just had to go in. We had to go in, fix our mistakes, just come out and play better. And that's what we did.
Chris, you were on the team 2 years ago when Louisville had its first road win at Miami. Which game was more fun, that one or this one?
This one. This one. I had a big impact on this game, so, this was the most fun game. It was scary at the last moment, but, I believe in God. And the last few drives are nothing but God.
What does this say about this team to come in, beat the number 2 team in the nation on the road? Like, how does that change maybe how you guys view yourselves?
We got heart, we ain't scared of the challenge, we don't care about what the people got to say. They was the number 2 team. That's what we didn't care about that. We knew we could come in, and get them off their field and beat them. So, we don't listen to all that, internet stuff. We just come out and play our game. We play our best game, so we gonna win. That's what we did tonight.
Yeah, do you think that this game here against Miami puts you in the college football playoff picture? Because you tell you what, it's one thing to beat the Kings, but you did it on a Friday night on a national television audience and sent the whole nation a message.
Hopefully, but we worry about one game at a time. Next up. So whatever we got to do to win the next game, that's what we're gonna do.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it, guys.